Abby Steiner is one of the fastest women alive, a sprinter who shattered records and won gold medals while barely out of college. But behind her blazing speed lies a struggle few people see. 3-foot surgeries in just over a year, relentless pain, and a fight to reclaim her place among the world's best. How does someone with so much talent and drive face setbacks this brutal and still keep racing?
So coming off 100 meters as well as a 200-meter final, talk about the experience overall here at Trials.
Yeah, always such a competitive environment.
If there's one thing you can count on in US track and field, it's that the competition is as unforgiving as it is inspiring. The 100M and 200M events, in particular, are a battlefield of raw speed, explosive power, and exceptional talent. For decades, the US has been the epicenter of sprinting dominance, producing some of the fastest humans on the planet. Since 2000, American sprinters have consistently found their way to the Olympic podium, often leaving the rest of the world fighting for scraps. From the legendary days of Maurice Green and Marion Jones to modern stars like Gabby Thomas and Fred Kerley, the red, white, and blue have become synonymous with excellence on the track. But here's the kicker. Just being world-class doesn't guarantee you a spot on Team USA. The US Olympic trials are a ruthless gauntlet, where only the top 3 in each event earn the right to compete on the biggest stage. It's a cruel paradox. Some of the fastest sprinters in the world fail to qualify simply because the depth of talent in America is unmatched. Think about it. Athletes who would dominate on other national teams don't even make it out of the trials here. It's like trying to win the lottery, except everyone at the table has elite skills, and the margin for error is smaller than a blink. This level of competition has pushed US sprinters to continuously redefine the limits of human performance. Times that would have been groundbreaking in the early 2000s are now considered standard, and every year the bar gets higher. It's a system that produces legends, but it's also one that leaves heartbreak in its wake. For every medal-winning sprinter, there's another who fell just short, missing their chance to shine, despite being among the best in the world. This is the brutal, beautiful reality of US track and field, and it's what makes the sport so compelling to watch and so devastating for those who come up short.
She crushes the record.
What did I tell you? Wow, I knew.
Abby Steiner wasn't just fast in 2022, she was extraordinary. It was the kind of breakout year that makes you sit up and wonder if you're witnessing the start of something legendary. At the NCAA Indoor Championships, she didn't just break records, she obliterated them. Her 22.09 second performance in the 200M wasn't just a new NCAA mark, it was an American indoor record. To put that in perspective, she ran faster indoors than most elite athletes manage outdoors. That alone was enough to make her the name on everyone's lips. But Steiner wasn't done. The outdoor season was where she truly proved her dominance. At the NCAA Championships, she clocked 21.8 seconds in the 200M, setting a new collegiate record. It was a performance that left her competitors in the dust and solidified her reputation as one of the most exciting young sprinters in the world. She didn't just win races, she redefined what was possible at the collegiate level. And it wasn't just her performances that stood out. Steiner's relay splits were some of the fastest in history, helping her teams achieve jaw-dropping results. When she stepped onto the professional stage, the momentum didn't stop. At the US Nationals, Steiner set a personal best of 22.77 seconds in the 200M, securing her spot on the world stage. And what a debut it was. She brought home 2 gold medals at the World Championships in the 4x100M and 4x400M relays. Winning even one relay gold is a feat few athletes achieve, but Steiner did it twice in the same meet. It was a season that seemed to promise an endless string of victories and Olympic glory in the years to come. Abby Steiner's trajectory as one of the brightest stars in track and field took a sudden, painful turn when injuries began to pile up, threatening to derail her promising career. In 2023, she faced her first major setback with surgery on her left Achilles tendon to address a bone spur. This wasn't just a minor procedure. It impacted the very foundation of her sprinting. The Achilles is a crucial tendon for generating the explosive power sprinters need, and recovering from surgery on it is a long, grueling process. As if that weren't enough, just a month later, she underwent surgery on her right foot for a separate issue. Back-to-back surgeries left her unable to train or compete for months, a devastating blow for an athlete in her prime. By the time 2024 rolled around, Steiner was still dealing with the fallout from her injuries. Early in the year, she had a third surgery, this time another bone spur removal from her left foot. In just over a year, she had undergone 3 significant procedures, each of which required intense recovery. This wasn't just about healing physically, it was about rebuilding her confidence, her technique, and her rhythm on the track. Months of truncated training left her racing with far less preparation than her competitors, and the mental toll was just as harsh. Injuries for sprinters aren't just physical setbacks, they challenge every ounce of self-belief. For someone like Steiner, who had soared so high so quickly, the frustration and doubt must have been overwhelming. Despite her best efforts to push through, the impact of these surgeries was undeniable. Limited preparation meant her endurance and speed were compromised. Even when she was able to return to competition, the pain lingered, affecting her ability to perform at her peak. Remarkably, she managed to compete at all during this period. For most athletes, facing just one of these surgeries would be a career-altering event. Steiner endured 3 in a single year, and she still managed to keep going. That kind of resilience speaks volumes about her determination and love for the sport. Abby Steiner's 2024 season wasn't just a story of competing despite the odds. It was a testament to her sheer willpower. Coming off 3 major foot surgeries, most people would have expected her to take a step back or even sit out entirely, but Steiner did the opposite. She pushed through her limitations and delivered performances that were, frankly, astounding for someone in her position. Her season-best time of 22.03 seconds in the 200M wasn't just competitive, it was elite. That time placed her 6th in the world rankings for the year, a feat that would be impressive even for an uninjured athlete. Her performances at the US Olympic trials showcased both her talent and her challenges. In the early rounds of the 200M, she looked strong, even placing 2nd in her opening heat behind Sha'Carri Richardson. Her semi-final race was a highlight of her season, where she clocked her season-best 22.03 seconds. Heading into the finals, Steiner seemed poised to claim one of the coveted top 3 spots that would secure her place on the Olympic team. But in the finals, her endurance faltered. She finished with a time of 22.24 seconds, placing 6th, a far cry from her semi-final performance just a day earlier.
And she solidifies that number 2 spot that she has. Abby Steiner still has that record.
Making the US Olympic team in sprinting has always been one of the toughest challenges in sports. The 2024 trials proved this once again, setting a new benchmark for just how competitive the field has become. To qualify for the team in the 200M, athletes needed to run faster than ever before. The 3rd place finisher clocked an astonishing 21.91 seconds, making it the fastest time required for an Olympic berth in the history of the trials. For context, in 2000, a time of 23.12 seconds would have been enough. The progression over the years is staggering, and 2024 took it to a whole new level. Abby Steiner's 22.03 second performance at the trials was world-class by any standard. It was a time that would have qualified her for the Olympics in nearly every other year since 2000. But in 2024, it wasn't enough. That's the brutal reality of US track and field. It's not just about being fast, it's about being faster than the fastest on the planet. The margin for error is microscopic, and even the slightest dip in performance can cost an athlete their Olympic dream. For Steiner, it must have been bittersweet to know that her time was still among the best in the world, but not enough to make the team. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.